Chosen one, before you scroll, before you convince yourself this is just another video, before your mind tells you, this probably isn't for me, stop. Because what you're about to hear is not random. Out of billions of people on this planet, somehow this message reached you at this exact moment in your life. And deep down, something inside you already feels it. That pull in your chest. That strange curiosity. That feeling you were supposed to click this. That is not coincidence. Because God is about to reveal a truth that has been hidden from you for a very long time. And when this truth fully reaches your spirit, your entire perspective on your life will begin to change. Chosen one, you are not who people told you that you were. You are not the labels they placed on you. You are not the rejection you experienced. You are not the mistakes you made during your lowest moments. You are not the version of yourself created by trauma, pain, abandonment, and disappointment. But for years, you believed those lies. Didn't you? You believed you were hard to love. Too emotional. Too sensitive. Too different. Too broken. And slowly, without even realizing it, you started shrinking yourself just to survive. You dimmed your light to make other people comfortable. You silenced your voice so people wouldn't judge you. You hid your emotions because every time you opened your heart, someone used it against you. Chosen one, the world trained you to disconnect from your real self. And the scary part is, after enough pain, you forgot who you actually were underneath all the survival mode. But God is revealing your truth now. Not the fake identity created by fear. The real you. The version of you heaven always saw. And honestly, that truth is powerful enough to change everything. Because your entire life started shifting the moment you believed false things about yourself. Think carefully. How many opportunities did you avoid because you secretly doubted yourself? How many relationships did you sabotage because you feared abandonment? How many times did you settle for less because you believed you didn't deserve more? Chosen one, your identity controls your entire life. And the enemy knows that. That's why your confidence has been attacked for years. That's why rejection followed you repeatedly. That's why betrayal hit you so deeply. Because if someone can convince you that you are small, they can stop you from becoming who God created you to be. But tonight something is shifting spiritually. Because God is exposing every lie you've been carrying about yourself. Chosen one, listen carefully. You were never weak. You were wounded. There's a difference. Weak people quit completely. But despite everything you've survived, you kept going. Even when your heart was shattered. Even when anxiety consumed your thoughts. Even when nobody understood your pain. You still kept moving forward somehow. That is not weakness. That is hidden strength. And God says it's time for you to finally see yourself correctly. Chosen one, your sensitivity is not a curse. The world mocked your softness because the world glorifies emotional numbness. But your emotional depth is part of your spiritual calling. You feel things deeply because your spirit is awake. That's why crowded rooms exhaust you sometimes. That's why fake energy bothers you instantly. That's why certain people make your spirit feel heavy even when they smile in your face. Your discernment has always been stronger than you realized. But because people constantly made you feel too emotional, you started distrusting your own intuition. And that caused you to ignore warnings your spirit was trying to give you. Chosen one, think back. How many times did you sense something was wrong about a person before they hurt you? How many times did your spirit warn you, but your loneliness convinced you to stay anyway? God says your discernment was never the problem. Your need to feel loved made you ignore it. And that truth hurts. Because some of the people you fought hardest to keep in your life were never assigned to your future. They were distractions, lessons, tests. But you kept trying to force connections because deep inside, you feared being alone. Chosen one, God is healing that fear now. Because your loneliness created emotional hunger. And emotional hunger makes people accept crumbs instead of real love. It makes people tolerate disrespect just to avoid abandonment. It makes people beg for attention from people who were never worthy of their heart. But God says your value does not decrease because someone failed to recognize it. Hear that again. Your value does not decrease because someone lacked the emotional maturity to appreciate you properly. Chosen one, you were not rejected because you were worthless. You were rejected because your spirit carried something certain people could not handle. Your presence exposes insecurity in weak people. That's why some people felt uncomfortable around you without understanding why. That's why some people secretly competed with you instead of supporting you. That's why people projected their pain onto you repeatedly. Because light irritates darkness naturally. And for years, you took other people's broken behavior personally. But God is revealing the truth now. The problem was not always you. In fact, most of the time, people were reacting to the power they sensed inside you. Chosen one, your life was never ordinary. Even your struggles were different. You faced emotional battles most people around you would never fully understand. There were moments you smiled publicly while privately begging God to help you survive mentally. Moments you felt emotionally isolated even while surrounded by people. Moments where your soul became so exhausted you questioned everything about yourself. And honestly, some of you almost gave up completely. Not publicly. Quietly. You kept functioning on the outside while internally feeling disconnected from life. But God kept you alive for a reason. Because your story is not finished yet. Chosen one. There is a reason your life has felt so spiritually intense. Ordinary people do not go through certain battles because ordinary people are not carrying certain callings. The greater the purpose, the greater the attack on identity. And your identity has been under spiritual attack for years. That constant self-doubt? That voice telling you you'll never be enough? That fear of failure that stops you from stepping fully into your purpose? Because the enemy's greatest weapon is not destruction. It's deception. If he can convince you you're powerless, you'll never activate the power God placed inside you. Chosen one. God says you have underestimated yourself for too long. You keep looking at yourself through the eyes of people who never truly understood you. But heaven sees you differently. Heaven sees resilience, wisdom, sensitivity, strength, leadership, healing energy. And there are gifts inside you that have not fully awakened yet. That's why your spirit feels restless lately. You can feel change approaching. You can feel old versions of yourself dying. You can feel certain relationships no longer aligning with your energy. Because God is separating you from environments that kept you spiritually asleep. And yes, separation hurts. It hurts losing people you once thought would stay forever. It hurts outgrowing old environments. It hurts realizing some relationships only survived because you abandoned yourself to keep them. But chosen one, your healing required distance from certain people. Because some environments were feeding your insecurity instead of your purpose. God says stop mourning connections that were draining your spirit. Not everyone who leaves your life is a loss. Sometimes removal is protection. Chosen one, another truth God is revealing tonight is this. You were never created to blend in. That discomfort you feel around shallow conversations? That feeling of being different your entire life? That sense that people never fully get you? There's a reason for it. You were set apart emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. And for years, you tried forcing yourself to be normal just to feel accepted. But normal was never your assignment. You carry depth, vision, discernment, sensitivity. And people who carry spiritual depth often experience isolation before elevation. That's why loneliness became part of your journey. Not because God abandoned you, but because isolation develops discernment. It teaches you how to hear heaven clearly without constant outside noise. Chosen one, your pain was not pointless. Every betrayal taught discernment. Every heartbreak taught boundaries. Every betrayal taught discernment. Every heartbreak taught boundaries. Every lonely season taught dependence on God instead of temporary people. And now, after everything you've survived, your spirit is evolving. You're beginning to see through fake energy faster. You're beginning to protect your peace more seriously. You're beginning to realize not everybody deserves access to your heart. That is growth. God says stop apologizing for changing. You had to change to survive what you survived. But now heaven is calling you into something deeper than survival. Healing. Real healing. The kind that restores your confidence again. The kind that helps you trust yourself again. The kind that reconnects you with the real version of yourself buried underneath years of pain. Chosen one, you are entering a season where truth will become impossible to ignore. Fake relationships will expose themselves. Hidden motives will become obvious. People wearing masks will struggle to keep them on around you. Because God is sharpening your discernment rapidly now. You are not crazy for sensing shifts in people's energy lately. Your spirit is simply waking up. And as your awareness increases, certain people will naturally fall away from your life. Do not chase them. Some people only had temporary access to your journey. Chosen one. Your biggest breakthrough will happen the moment you stop seeing yourself as broken. Because you are not broken beyond repair. You are transforming. There's a difference. Transformation feels painful because old identities must die before new ones emerge. And the old version of you, the fearful version, the insecure version, the people-pleasing version, is collapsing now. That's why you feel emotionally uncomfortable lately. Your soul is outgrowing old patterns. God says the real you is finally waking up. The confident you, the healed you, the spiritually aligned you, the emotionally powerful you. And once you fully recognize your worth, your entire life will begin changing naturally. Because people treat you according to the energy you accept about yourself. Chosen one, stop shrinking your light. Stop begging for acceptance from people who were committed to misunderstanding you anyway. Stop doubting the gifts God placed inside you. You were not created to live small. And heaven is tired of watching you question your value every time someone fails to appreciate you correctly. God says your truth is this. You are chosen. Not because you are perfect. Not because you never struggle. Not because you never doubt yourself. But because heaven placed something unique inside your spirit before you were even born. And no amount of rejection can erase that. No betrayal can destroy that. No heartbreak can remove that. No failure can cancel that. Chosen one, your life is about to enter a new season. A season of clarity. A season of awakening. A season where you finally stop abandoning yourself for people who never truly valued you. And once that happens, everything changes. Because the moment you fully remember who you are, the things that once controlled you lose their power forever. And before you leave, hear this carefully, chosen one. If this message touched something deep inside your spirit, that's not random. That means God is already waking something up inside you. So don't ignore this moment. Comment below, I am remembering who I am. I want to see who's still fighting, who's still standing, and who refuses to let pain, rejection, and darkness define their future anymore. And if this message spoke directly to your soul, subscribe right now, because these videos are not for everyone. Every time you return here, you are strengthening your spirit. Chosen one, your story is not ending in confusion. It's ending in transformation. And trust me, the people who underestimated you are about to witness a version of you they never saw coming.